What's up guys, Goku here with another Dragon Ball Legends video, this time with something I think right now for the game is a bit of an concerning issue, and at this point I won't call it a trend in Dragon Ball Legends by now, because they did this now for 3 years, and that is releasing Ultra characters that just completely counter the color purple. And you know, might be wondering why I'm not talking about Ultra Frieza here instead of this Goku, because Ultra Frieza is the best unit in the game. He has this active gauge, which is really crazy. Why do I not call him a really big problem? And I do think he's a problem, but I think the solution to him is far easier than this guy, because let's be real, Ultra Frieza, why he does crazy damage and has the active gauge, the reason why he's really so good right now is because we don't have a purple. And I'm not saying like if you have a purple unit he would fall off the top 10 or anything, that's not what I'm saying, but I think one good purple would be enough, and I don't need like he has to be countering Frieza. Just a solid purple unit in the meta is enough to have this guy in check. But the thing I have with this Goku is that his lock-in ability in combination with endurance null, I mean we can look at this kid here again. On second time he finishes unique gauge every time on entry, he has 5-time accounts of endurance null, permanent 5-time accounts of type neutrality, and then with a full unique gauge he can lock you in on strike or blast cards use. I think that is a bigger issue for the game than what Ultra Frieza does. Because yes, he has the greens, the active gauge, long combos, I get that, and I agree this is a problem, but again, his lock-in ability, generally speaking, is already an issue because he's basically killing purple units entirely. But it's also an issue for the game, because the lock-in ability on strike or blast cards use gives you way more options. This guy for example, I mean the +2 subcom entry was also hard, but you have subcom manipulation if for example this guy goes for a rush. With a lock-in you don't have these options, and because he has the ability to nullify endurance on entry, because he can't go type neutral, if you're not a unit, like for example if you're transforming UI Goku, if you're Kaioken Goku, they don't cancel buffs at all on rushes. You're just sitting there and hoping you're guessing this rising rush, because otherwise your unit is dying. And for example, look at the, can talk about this quickly, if you look at purple units right now, I mean this guy just gets snipe killed by Ultra Goku. This guy was already bad, but also just gets snipe killed by Goku. And then you have Tien and Chaozu, who are technically the best, I mean not technically, they are right now the best purple in the game, and they have a better survival ability with the succession mechanic, so they don't just get touched one time and they are just completely out of the game. But the issue is their best team, which is Saiyan Saga with Kaioken Goku, and then you even either have Vegeta or the blue Feedku Zenkai. It could happen that your Kaioken Goku gets hit once by somebody, and then the yellow Ultra Goku switches in, full unique gauge, locks you in, he rushes. If he dies, you just have 2 units left, and one of them is a purple unit, which is Tien and Chaozu, and then you have really big problems to win this game. And again, I think this kills some of the team's whole purposes. Like, it's the same thing with Universal Survival Saga, where if you're catching UI Goku hit and you rush them, what do you do afterwards? You don't have that much options left anymore, and that's kind of the problem. And for example, Evolution Blue Vegeta, this rush situation wouldn't be a problem, but because he has only endurance, and his best partner Kaba only nullifies endurance nullification, or generally speaking buffs on rush or ultimates, he still can get like 3 carded by Ultra Dark Goku or 2 or one strike into the blue card, and there's nothing this Vegeta can do about it. So he dies also pretty quickly. And that is the situation they create every single time with these units that just have lock-in abilities. I mean, if we look at the time this guy released, we had a really strong purple unit in the game. Like, really strong. He was like... I think he was even arguably top 5. I think Aleph, Zenkai, Jiren was at least in the top 7. I think. Like, he was a really good purple, he had a really good team with Universal Survivor Saga. This team was actually competing with Movies, which was arguably the best team in the game. I think it was the best team in the game. But Universal Survivor Saga was a team that could really compete with the Movies team. They were almost on the same level. And then this guy showed up, killing Jiren completely. And that was kind of one of the biggest strengths, which was the safety unit. And by killing Jiren, who was by the way the only purple in that time, Goku and Bardock and Pikkon were just so free to use, and they were double safety units, one of them safeties that you can't cancel even. So you had a double green and yellow running free around, because we had good red fight in that point, but you had 2 green safety units that you couldn't really kill immediately. It was easy to run them together. It was a really strong team, if you remember, because again, on top of getting all these greens, which gets Goku and Bardock more AoE greens, you didn't have to check for the Bardock side at all. You didn't have to check for Pikkon or Vegeta even, and that lasted for quite a while. I mean, even Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, you didn't have a purple to check him, or the Golden Frieza came out, which was for anniversary. So that was his situation. And then we had Majin Vegeta completely nuking Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta out of the game, although they really didn't need to do it. Like, Triku existed already and was a good check. We have Turles who could survive a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta ult, so at this point we had a good check against Gogeta. Like, the really toxic thing about Gogeta was his ultimate, because it was a one-shotting ult. That was the only thing I would say that was really toxic. I mean, the lock-in AoE green as well, but that wasn't such a big issue in comparison to his ultimate. But by checking that, it was already kind of fine. Right? Triku was a good check, and then you released this guy who just one mistake, strike, main ability, ult, with AoE damage, by the way, so there was really no reason to use Gogeta. And what did they do afterwards? They brought us transforming Vegeta Blue and transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who had infinite combos, and they had no purple to stop him, because even Ultimate Gohan at this point was also... I mean, he was not as worse of a Majin Vegeta victim as Gogeta, but he didn't have like a much better situation as well. And this created the infinite combo team, because you could play Majin Vegeta, Vegeta Blue, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku together, and no purple to stop them. And they were the reason we even got this update for the game, that after a certain combo length you get no key and your sub counts don't decrease anymore. It was all because of these guys, and that was just really dumb. And now we have him, who basically enables Ultra Frieza to run freely, because he destroys all the purple units, because having an endurance null and snipe and no switching on blasting strike cards use gives you many situations to just snipe kill purple units. I mean, again, this guy, one mistake, he gets hit by what, Kaioken and Goku maybe 1 or 2 times. If you thought, for example, okay, I'm not switching right now. Oh, Goku comes in, block in, strike cards you with endurance null. Oh, you're dead. You would have thought. This guy doesn't even have endurance or anything to save himself, so one strike into ultimate and he dies, and Tien and Jiaozu not necessarily die immediately, but again, we mentioned the issue with which can happen with the team of his, because you don't have a safety unit like to prevent a no switch rush, I would say. And again, he creates a situation where you basically need this guy on the team to have the KO guard ability, because the KO guard ability prevents you from just rush snipe killing anybody, because the Nikeo God activates, they still live. I mean, you can still get snipe killed with an lock-in ultimate, but that is a lot harder to do against, for example, Kaioken Goku or some other units, because you get debuffed and everything, or your buff removal. I think Kaioken Goku has like buff removal on ultimates, for example, the first blue card, but not on rushes. So now we are kind of stuck with this situation where this strike destroys all the purples that were relevant right now, and has an ability that is kind of really bad for the game. And I see two things they could do to solve this problem. I would call it more so the problem of Ultra Frieza running completely free, and that is obviously releasing a really good purple unit. But the requirements for this purple unit are, I think, two things he definitely needs to have, and what other things he then has to even survive against this Goku, I don't really know, depends. But one thing is, he needs a second life mechanic that isn't endurance. So revival, succession, comeback, or a new mechanic, whatever it is, he can't die by just get locked in and comboed. And the second thing, speaking of this, is one thing they could do, and this is something that Triku had, which helped him not getting immediately stumped by, for example, Red Broly, although I think not many people saw Red Broly as a threat. One reason this Goku could survive better against Red Broly than, for example, transforming Gogeta Blue is because every time a new opponent enters the battlefield, he got type neutral defensively. And I think this new purple unit, if they release some, should have that. So if this guy comes in for the snipe, you are type neutral defensively. He doesn't remove type neutrality or anything from you. So you're type neutral defensively. He can't just immediately kill you then. That is the thing. These two things he definitely needs. This new purple that I'm thinking about, we're going to get an after party unit as the last thing for this anniversary. I think. I mean, they did this last year, and they also did this with Legends Fest. These guys were Omega Shenron and Gohan and Trunks. Both were pretty well edging units, I would say. I mean, Gohan and Trunks, I would say they would have been still good if this anniversary didn't have like the same power creep change with the how much damage guard units get and how much damage, but they were aging before that quite well, so there's a good chance this unit that comes out could be really good. I'm thinking about Metal Cooler actually, because number one, this is a unit we didn't get in a long time. He is on LOE, so connection to at least the Ultra character we have here. It also could be like, I don't know, a Super Saiyan Vegeta to kind of fit more like the Saiyan theme. It depends what kind of path they want to go. They have to be kind of related to the Ultra characters somehow, so I think it's one of these two options. But I think Metal Cooler, he would fit to have this ability of having a revival or anything like, because if you saw the movie, there were multiple Metal Coolers. I also think him having the powerful opponent LRE and also regen tag, and regen isn't like in a great spot right now, so he has more, I would say, more tags that could be nice to have than Vegeta, because Super Vegeta would be, I mean, Vegeta Clan I would like as well, but we have a lot of Saiyans in this game right now, so that's kind of not necessarily needed. The only thing is, with Metal Cooler, for example, he works well obviously with Frieza and a powerful opponent with Ultra Cell. You really then have a team that is kind of hard to kill, to be honest, if he has a second life mechanic. I mean, Frieza you can't rush kill because buff removal unless you have uncancelable endurance. Ultra Cell is the same thing as Frieza, and if this Cooler has a revival or anything like that, a rush is not, or ultimate is not gonna kill him either, so... And he isn't affected by, for example, other Ultra Cells or LF full power Freezers who have endurance permanently, so That's not a good thing either necessarily. That would make Powerful Opponent definitely the best team in the game, I would say. Even though they got a proper check, it's kind of like... It's really tough because like, if he's on Powerful Opponent, so then Powerful Opponent is the solution and the problem at the same time. And if he's a Saiyan character, I mean, Saiyan isn't like a fun team to fight either, because Kaioken Goku and this Ultra Goku with their green cards are annoying, and depending on what the abilities of the Saiyan unit is, yeah. But the good thing is they have a red, so Kaioken Goku protects the proper unit to a good degree, so... But yeah, I think either way, this could end up kinda annoying for whatever team gets the buff. But that is one solution again, release a good proper unit. And the second solution, which I really don't like, because not for me, but it's more so the people who summon for this Goku, is give him the Super Vegito treatment and release a red character that just counters him so hard that he's out of the game. And I don't like that, because people summon for this Ultra are really hard to pull. He had the worst banner out of the two of them. Like Ultra Frieza has a ×3 pull step, Ultra Ray ×3 step on which Goku's banner doesn't have. You also got the 1003Z power for Ultra Frieza, which Goku doesn't have, so I really don't want to have the situation where this guy gets like countered really hard again. Also, it is a really hype Ultra Part 3 character. I don't think he deserves this treatment, but at the same time the abilities that he has are like so toxic that I kinda don't want this guy to be in the game, to be honest. But I think for the people who summon for him, it's really not fair. But yeah, this is the tough situation they created, because again, Margin Vegeta, Ultra UI Goku, these were units where I'm like, bro, we just want them out of the game, because they don't do anything healthy for the game. And again, Frieza, I think Frieza really needs only a check, because he doesn't have like he doesn't have an ability that single-handedly is really a big issue for the entire game. Like, as long as you have a proper unit, it's really all good when it comes to Frieza. He doesn't get type neutrality unless he has a full unique age. That's like the only type neutrality he ever gets. He wouldn't pass by a good proper unit. So, but this Goku, I mean, he is top 3 or top 2 in the game. Some people say arguably number 1. I had him arguably number 1, but more so for the meta-defining abilities that he has, not because of him as an individual character. And we have still Kaioken Goku, who is like, I would say also very free, because Transforming UI Goku is not that relevant right now. And he's still number 2, so he's not that easy to, you know, kill necessarily off the game. And considering that he's so good, why having a really strong red character existing? That's a tough unit, and again, I don't think there are many healthy solutions right now to this problem, but we really need good purples. I mean, last good purple, again, is this guy, and the other purples, I mean, they are solid. Should have been better. He really was a fumble. I don't know how they did it. I think this is so sad with Team Capable, because again, Dragon Ball as a team, they really needed Saiyan Saga treatment. They really needed that. That team doesn't have a lot of units that could get, and they were dead for so long that I think they used them as an experiment, but I think they did not deserve this. I think they really needed a good team. I mean, the Goku is a good foundation, but the rest of the team, I mean, it's mostly just this team in Piccolo's fault, because I think Roshi and Goku were quite fine, but they fumbled it back with this Team Piccolo. Like, he is, in my opinion, Super Vegeta of last year. He really is, and this Evolution Blue Vegeta is the God Goku of last year. And they really need to step up with the proper units, or find a solution to just get this guy like kind of a bit out of the game or not as relevant anymore. I don't know. It is really a tough thing, a tough situation, man. I mean, the question even now is, do we get another Elf Zenkai or something? Because if they're gonna Zenkai Red Cooler, I don't think he deserves this treatment, but again, I really hate his ability. I really hate this lock-in thing. It just, again, it creates so many problems. Not just only the ultimate is then a problem, but also rushes or even overdrive situation. I mean, you coming in with endurance null, you lock somebody in and he's low life, you overdrive, what's stopping you? Overdrive doesn't get a buff cancellation. He could potentially kill like Frieza or even Ultra Cell with an overdrive with endurance null, and it's just really tough. It's really tough. I don't really know how they gonna fix this necessarily in a healthy way where everyone gets happy, because I don't think there's really, again, I think the healthiest situation they could do, which wouldn't necessarily kill this unit or any unit, is to release a really good purple character. That's the only thing I can think of that would help the game without just destroying this new character, but I think for the long run, they at some point need to kill this character off. Because, again, snipe abilities are never a good thing. And there were other units with no switch abilities, like for example the Super Saiyan Daima Kid Goku. The thing with him is it's only on blue card. That's also toxic, but it's not. There are not many options you can do. It's really just only one card they could use to snipe you, and he needs a full unique gauge to build that up as well. This is something you can avoid way more easily, and I think. I mean, who had also a lock? I mean, I think this guy on his ultimate had a lock-in, but I mean, the green units all have like type neutrality and buff cancellation to survive it, kinda, so it wasn't the biggest issue. But yeah, I really hope that they find a solution. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think is the solution? How do you think this is a problem at all? Even I think it's a problem. Do you agree with this, or do you think this is not a huge deal? If you have an idea what they could do, let me know in the comments. I would be really interested to hear that, and see you guys in the next one.